It's 9:55. It's before anything goes down. Like what we're expecting New Year's Eve, Mar-a-Lago. But somebody said, yeah, New Year's Eve, 86,000 days even to today is Washington, D.C. 86,000 even. July 16th, 1790. 79 is murder. And I thought when they told me that, I was like, well, what about it when it's a palindrome, 86068, since 68 is his name and matches Antichrist in the sorry, matches, 68 is Donald J. Trump in reverse reduction, and 68 is Antichrist in reverse reduction, which is why 2001 A Space Odyssey came out in 68. And if you were to run all of that 1968 stuff, like MLK was 4-4, and that comes up to 21,158. The other one was on 6-6, the RFK event. 21-0. Well, there it is, 9 months, 3 days. There's your 93. And Tenet came out. Remember, Tenet was the same word, same letters, backwards and forwards, same palindromes. Be the same numbers also. Like 121 is a palindrome. And 2001 A Space Odyssey was April 2nd. And there's your 116. 11 months, 7 days. 11 months, 9 days for 119 Donald on the rising day. The rising day would be 311. This fits in with 310 to Yuma with Christian Bale. Yuma being what? The rising day. So 310 to Yuma is like saying March 10th to the rising day, which would be the following day. 2001 A Space Odyssey was also on April 3rd. 11 months, 6 days. It's 3022 weeks, so 322 code on either day. Film 2001 A Space Odyssey. I just want to make sure it's the second and the third. Yeah, second and third. And then, of course, May 1st. And it's 21131. On the rising day, it's going to be 21133. So you have Revelation 13:3, deadly wound but did live. You have your 11:3 code for rising, all fused together. I love this date. March 11th was when the illness was declared worldwide. It would be when World War III would begin on the rising day. I absolutely love March 9th. It is the opposite. 3-9 is opposite 9-3. And that's when Christopher Nolan's film came out in 2020. That's got to be a gigantic cipher. 9-3 to 3-9. And it comes up to 2013, which I've already looked at, and I think that's very strange. The year 2013. We're going to have to wonder about that. 2026 would be coming up in 13 days from that also. And that's day 322. So if you run it to 322, it comes up to 2026, 289 in the weeks. The Mustang 289, the four horses. There, it was also a premiere date on 8/26, which the way they write the date is 268. And again, we're talking about 86068. And by the way, it's day 68 of the year also. And it comes up to 2021 and 2023, 288 in the weeks, 66 months, 11 days. So I don't hate this date at all. We can look at the usual suspects, like his descent down the escalator, 3919. So there's your 39 right there for the date. And we can look at 2012, The Dark Knight Rises. Well, we should go ahead and look at 2018. Mamma Mia, here we go again for the Rising Day. 2791. So you do get your 79 murder, 91 months, 19 days. So it's 9119. All that to the Rising Day. Then we run it to 2012, The Dark Knight Rises date, 4982, 13 years, 7 months, 19 days. Well, 711 weeks. So there's your Revelation 11:7 coded right there. Then you run the Dark Knight to the 9th. 6443. Not really getting anything big from that. The total solar, when I saw it, was on August 1st. $6,429. It delivered a full moon. $6,414. Hey, it's Donnie Darko time. 10/2. So let's look at all the Donnie Darko stuff of 2001. The release date on 1/19. Or January 19th. Not a lot of stuff popping, but the stuff that pops never happens either. It's a perfect 8,900. That does pop. The release of Donnie Darko worldwide, not at Sundance, but this is the worldwide release, or United States release on Friday, October 26th. Remember, 89 is in Donald Trump and Donald J. Trump in the Jewish Hebrew gematria. I call this a very, 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 very big deal right here. Then we go to September 11th of 2001. 8945 on Death Day, 8947 on Rising. Those are his two numbers. Look at the weeks, 127, 1277. That's Tower 1, Tower 2, Tower 7, all right there. This has him going down, Moon in Scorpio, unless it happens at night. Has him rising, Moon in Sagittarius. Has him rising, Moon in Sagittarius. So remember, he was born with a full moon in Sagittarius. This would be 6 days after the total solar, I'm sorry, the total lunar eclipse of March 3rd. I mean, I love every bit of this. 1985 is when they went 88 miles per hour on October 26th. 147.44. There's your 47, and 44 always represents Book of Revelation, 404 verses, and it's given to you in the years and the months. 40 years, 4 months. 404 coded twice. Back to the Future came out July 3rd. And it's 148.59 in the days, 488 in the months. So it's his name everywhere. 148 is Donald J. Trump in simple gematria. 88 is Trump in simple gematria. 48 is his name. I think it's in reduction. One of the four base ciphers. Or 486, which again, his name is 48, and 86 means to eliminate. 40 years, 8 months, 6 days. All from Back to the Future. You run Back to the Future to the Rising Day. 148.61. So it's all about the being 86th. But it's the rising day. 40 years, 8 months, 8 days. So there's your 88. 488 months, 8 days. So there's your 488.8. I am really starting to love this date. And let's go 1988, October 2nd, the Donnie Darko date. 13674. Then it would be 13672. Boy, that's really more of a personal cipher right there. I want, let me go to the JFK date real quick since I'm thinking about it. Well, interestingly enough, it's 22/7/53. Now, 753 is on the clocks of Back to the Future. And 22/7/53, 22, the 22nd prime number is 79, which is murder in simple gematria. And when the Joker drove the bus out of the bank at the beginning of the movie, it said District 22. I do believe that's what that was about, since it's the Dark Knight, dark and right eye. We know about the 1155 knocking down the Twin Pines on 11/5. 7 years, 4 months, 4 days. 44 months, 4 days. 2569. I tell you what, it's personal ciphers galore. If we're going to do personal ciphers, we're going to have to go to the biggest personal cipher that I have is Groundhog Day 2009, which is 892 in the weeks, 149 in the hours, which is Antichrist in one of the four base ciphers. 17 years, 1 month, 7 days, so it's 1717. Yeah, I mean, I would call these big deals by and large. I like the date. I like the date. I like the date. I tell you what, one of my biggest ciphers. Nah, well, it's 555 months. I don't know. This is yeah, one of my biggest personal ciphers. Let's close out with this and we'll call it a day. The Groundhog Day release dates were February 4th. It's 12,086, so it's a direct hit with 86. 33 years, 1 month, 5 days. It's 1726 in a week, so 726 is coded, which is Antichrist. It's 3311% of a common year, so you got your 33, 311, all of it right there. Groundhog Day film, 1993. Yeah, 1993. Just making sure we're hitting the right. The Bullet Building, 239 is 7985. So there's your 79 murder. I already had that prepped. What else did I have prepped? We already did that. So let's get back to Groundhog Day. The other was the 12th. That was the wide release. If you include both dates to 3/9, you get your 12,079. So you get your 79 murder again. Wow. Whew. I mean, when you see stuff like this, you have to love it. So you got your 86 and your 79. One of them you just have to include both dates. Always allowed to do that. These are big deals. Trump on the day is 29, 123 days old. The taking of Pelham 123 or 123 is in the song Sure Shot. He's 79 years, 8 months, 23 days. 79, 78.90% of a common year. So you got a lot of 79s there. I mean, he's in that sweet spot of being 79 years old. I Israel was founded, let's go to that, May 14th. 79 years, 9 months. 79 is coded again. That would probably be more for Rising Day. 28, 425, 77, 925. I mean, I like every bit of this. I guess we need to look at No Time to Die on October 8th for 88. 1615, 1613, 38,000 hours. I'll tell you what it is. If you run it No Time to Die to the 9th and you include both dates, you get his birthday. 1,614. 614 is his birthday. We can call that a direct smash hit. Let's run it back to the release of the song on February 13th. Of 2020, and it's a direct smash hit. 2,216. 216 is James Bond's car tag, and it's 6 plus 6. 6 times 6 times 6 is 216. Smash hits. Killer. Killer smash hits. Writing on the Wall, the song was September 25th. 3818. That's your clocks on Back to the Future. 7:53. Remember, they ended up being, the correct time was 8:18 because they were 25 minutes behind. Then Marty was late for school. Writing on the Wall to today, when the Lord theoretically would have given it to us, if that ends up being the date, it's 3,750 even, 37 prime number for the church. It's a perfect 90,000 hours. It's a perfect 5,400,000 minutes. 324 million seconds. Perfect, like all zeros. There's only one person who is in The Dark Knight and Donnie Darko. That's Maggie Gyllenhaal, November 16th. So let's run her to our 3-9 date. And she's a hit. 17,645. What would it be on Rising? 647. 76 is Adam in Strong's Concordance. I do believe that is why Maggie is named Maggie in The Simpsons. It's 579 months. It's 48 in the years, 3 months, 21 days. Whew. What else do we always look at? Let me check volume here. So the Zechariah 11:17, Zechariah is 2148 in Strong's Concordance, and you multiply that by 11:17, and you get your murder in the Jewish Hebrew gematria, which is the most biblical, to 399. 399 is murder. Folks, 399 is murder in the Jewish Hebrew gematria, the most biblical, because that's where we get the number of the man, the number of the name. 399, murder. Um, let's go to it. There's murder. And there's your 399. 39 is March 9th. One World Trade Tower opened 11/3. One World Trade Tower opened on November 3rd. I'm pretty sure it's 2014. I just want to make sure of that. If we run all of this to, well, there it is, 4,144 for the church, 144,000. 4144, 4144, 144. That is to our date of 3-9. When you run it to the rising day, which is what it represents, it's his birthday. 4,014.6. That's how most countries write June 14th, 14.6. We write it 614. Most countries write the date backwards. That allows for two-way goes. Because we've told you 311. By the way, 311, the rising day, is opposite 9/11 on a circular calendar. And 9/11 was all about, since September was once the 7th month, like October, Octagon, Octopus was once the 8th month. December, decade, decameter was once the 10th month, November the 9th month. They were all pushed up to by Julius Augustus, July and August. So 9/11 was really about 7/11, and most countries write the date 7/11. I'm sorry, most countries write the date 11/7, which is Revelation 11/7, the beast rising from the pit. So, or the angel rising from the pit. Revelation 11/7, King James Version, Bible Gateway. It signifies the pit being open, which they love. This is all ritual stuff anyway. It does say the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit. So when I looked up, Jared Kushner comes to March 11th. So does Solar Eclipse and I Love You, Babe. Not I Got You, Babe, the Say Share song, which is what I was thinking. It's I Love You, Babe. December 12th, 1986. That's a 12/12 for the church. 1986, when I ran it to the rising day, 14334, 14332 for the event day. If you include both dates, 14333. But Jared Kushner Jared Kushner birthday. January 10th, transfer portal day. 1981, January 10th, 1981. January 10th, 1981. Let's run old Jared to the rising day. 16496. Nothing gigantic, a lot of personal ciphers. Um, let's look. What do we want to look at? That made me want to look at something else and it left my mind. Hang on. Oh, it made me want to run the transfer portal of time, which we were talking about. So 1521, 1519, 1519, 1521. Can we remember that? 1519, 1521. November 13th, 2017, and 1111. You run that rising day, November 11th, 2017. Let's run Trump to November 11th. 26083. 26085. It's a direct hit. So he is a 37 progression to the rising day when you run it through the transfer portal. The transfer portal of time was something the Lord absolutely showed us. We nailed when their transfer portal, which is what they call what had happened was January of 2022 was the calendar overlay of October 1988. And on the 10th in the film, Donnie Darko was when they started talking about, Donnie started talking to his teacher about Portal. And the Dr. Pepper Fansville commercials were all about this transfer portal. And that was the night of the national championship game. And we started running dates backwards and forwards from January 10th, backwards and forwards, backwards 37 progressions. And it would go backwards 37. It landed on the total solar eclipse of December 4th, 2021. And then when you went forward 37 days, it landed on the snow full moon. If I'm not mistaken, it was February 16th. And then I went up 74 days and it landed on the Gateway Arch date of October 28th, which is Bill Gates' birthday, Gateway Arch. And Julia Roberts' birthday, Mystic Pizza. We remember Pizzagate, all about the Gateway, and then of course the Gateway Arch in St. Louis opened on October 28th. And it was another 37 progression through that transfer portal backwards and forwards, up the next progression of 37, which is 111. So it's 37, 74, 111. It landed on May Day, which transfer portal back to the 21st of September. Do you remember the 21st of September song? So it was popping on all these different dates. All these things matter big time. So the fact that the rising goes to 1113. That's automatically 11-3 code. 311-11-3, which is the opening of One World Trade Tower on 11-3 or the rising day of 311. It's all right there. It's all right there. What date was Skull and Bones established? December 1832. It doesn't give us a date, does it? Bummer, man. Okay. Okay. Got it. All right. So, December 1832. Might as well run it. And we'll run it to the ninth, making it ninth to ninth. 2003-19 months. There's that 319 again because March 9th comes to 319, which if you look at anybody born on 3 times 19 times 1998, their number begins with the 11-3, which is rising, One World Trade Tower opening. Their number also has a 138, which is Donald Trump and Simple Gematria. Their number also has 38, which is death in one of the 4 base ciphers, and murder in one of the other 4 base ciphers. 88, which is Trump and Simple Gematria, and the 86ing of him. So it's a very unique date, number, time, stamp. And I may or may not know somebody born on that day, which is what alerted me to that date. That was the last thing I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at what that hits on. So let's go to it. What does that hit on? Well, if we look at what that date would hit on, let's subtract 37 days. And it will tell us. Ooh, it's a 37 progression to January 31st. Let's take a look at that. That would put the event date happening on a 37 progression to One World Trade Tower. Tom Hanks event of the 201 Corona typewriter tweet. The series The Undoing. Barbenheimer, which was Barbie being released with Oppenheimer, which was the same thing as Mamma Mia being released with The Dark Knight, because Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again had the same release date as The Dark Knight Rises. They were just 6 years apart, but they were both on July 20th. Just like The Dark Knight and Mamma Mia were both July 18th. So Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is 9/11, Here We Go Again. It's a big cipher. It's a big date to look at. Quantum Leap episode, It's a Wonderful Leap. Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation, Tippi Herndon from the Byrds. She was also with Sean Connery. There's your Mystic Pizza that I was just talking about. And Soleimani Death. If you include both dates, it's a direct hit. Wow. I always said that's the biggest cipher in all ciphers. There it is. It's a smash hit. Let's take a look at it. So 621, remember 2001 A Space Odyssey opened with a total solar eclipse. And there is a total solar eclipse in 2001, and it took place on the summer solstice. And I always say that will always be a hit on a cipher. 9,028 days. Now, this is if you include both dates. It's a 244-37 progression. Remember, 37 is a prime number for the church. 37 is the 12th prime number, 12 is number for the church. 37 divides evenly into 111 all the way through 911, all the way through 999. That includes 666, 888, 777, 444, 222, all of them. 216 begins the hours, 6 times 6 times 6, James Bond's car tag. So it's a palindrome. I mean, it's a 37 progression, y'all. Big, 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 big deal. Mustang car release, representing the four horses. Russia, Russia, Russia. Maureen McCormick. Birthday, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. She's a direct hit if you include both dates. Knives Out, Wake Up, Dead Man. Just a second. Let me see what's going on here. So let's look at 310 to Yuma. I'm going to bet you. There it is. The URL begins with 38 for murder, 3818, 49. 49 is Antichrist and one of the four base ciphers. All right, let's look it up. 1953. That's Trump and I's on Christmas Day, 1953 is he and I's midpoint, believe it or not. August 21st, 2007, September 7th, 2007, it's 122 in the minutes, 22 for murder. All right, August 21st, September 7th, both 2007. So I tell you what, August 21st, September 7th. August 21st, September 7th. Ugh. On the rising day, look at this. 6,777 days. 18 years, 6 months for 186 code. 222 months, 18 days. 222. That's a long story. It is a 37 progression, but it represents Adam and Eve. It is the Genesis 2:22 Bible verse with a rib coming out. 968 in the weeks. Man, you're getting everything. You're getting everything with 310 to Yuma. If you run it 310 to Yuma to 310, the day in between the death and rising, it is a palindrome 6776, which is perfect for the day in between, representing death and rising. It's perfect. Oh, we want to look at iPad Goat. That's what we want to look at. So the other release date, real quick, was September 7th. After iPad Goat, we can call it a day. Oof. Is this about to happen? It sure is. 310 to Yuma. To the rising day, when you include both dates, 6,761. 761 is the amount of verses combined in Revelation and Daniel. It's got Christian Bale. It's Batman. It's the Dark Knight. He's the same guy in every movie, just like American Psycho. Who's the American Psycho? Well, the future Antichrist. Whew. All right, so we wanted to look at iPad Goat and we'll close this video out. Released on 6/24 on their website, 5008. So realistically speaking, if you run it to the event day, if you include both dates, it's 5007. But on the rising day, let's go back. That's dumb. I missed it. It's 5,008 days, 5008. Well, the eighth is of the seven. Remember, Bond in No Time to Die became 008. Remember, she kept asking what's his number because she was 007. They reinstated Bond as a 00. And twice she asked, and they never told her because to say 008 would be too obvious that the eighth is of the seven. Because the seven kings of Mystery Babylon represents, that's what 007 represents. And there's an eighth because it's a body double. The eighth is of the seven. It's 13 years, 8 months. So you have your 138 code, which is Donald Trump in simple gematria. I am starting to absolutely fall madly in love with this date. I am just, and you run it, you run iPad Goat to the rising day, and it is 4,999. If you include both dates, you get a perfect 5,000. Remember, 500 is Antichrist and Strauss Concordance, G500. So there you have it. You have your 500. I knew it. iPad Goat would do it. I just want to keep going now. You want to do Skyfall? I think Skyfall was 1023. There it is for 887. You include both dates for 888. When you run Skyfall to the ninth, include both dates for 88.6, or the 88 being 86th. Let's look at Skyfall. Skyfall film. Skyfall song. Well, we're doing it all now. October 5th, 2012. So you have your 49, 4,903. Well, interesting, the 903 is the palindrome of 309, which goes back to the movie Tenet. They're both Christopher Nolan films. I'm sorry, no, they're not Christopher Nolan films. Christopher Nolan's Batman. This is James Bond. But it is that palindrome from, it's 905, 906. It's a perfect 700 weeks, 11/7 in the hours on the rising day. In the hours, it is going to be 11/7. We're told from the film the hours to always look at the hours. 117,720. The film The Hours came out in 2002 on Christmas Day. So let's look at the hours. 203, 448, 8477, 203, 400. Yeah, but we're always told to look at the hours from the movie The Hours. So I blew it. Let's go back. And let's keep looking at Skyfall. So we just looked at the song. Let's look at the movie. I believe it's 23rd, 26th, and November 9th. Yep, October 23rd, October 26th, November 9th. In the URL, you do have the 38. So we're going to look at October 23rd, which we already did. Like we told you, you include both dates. You got your 4,886. So the 88 is being 86. On the rising day, it's 4,888. Folks, these are direct smash hits. Skyfall was where he had the right right eye wound, and he said his hobby was resurrection. And there it is, 4888 when you include both dates on the rising day. Then you run the 26th date, 4882 on rising 4884. Got your 48 again. Excuse me, you got your 88 again. And then it was November 9th. I think that was the United States, 119 Donald. There it is, 4868. Folks, that's all his name and Antichrist and everything in the Gematria. Let's go to it. Gematria calculator. This is going to blow your mind. 4868. Let's go. Donald Trump, 48 in reduction. When you add the J, 68 in reverse reduction. 4868. So it's all about the 48 being 86th, or the 68 is also Antichrist in the same cipher. In reverse reduction, notice Donald J. Trump is 68, and you key in Antichrist and 68 again. Remember, reduction is 49, reverse is 149. That's why the San Francisco 49ers are always big winners. 49, 49, 49, 49, the 49ers. Ooh, wow, this is so big. Skyfall to the rising day, 4871 or 4870. Again with the 48. But yeah, big deals, big smash hits. Then we're going to run Spectre, which was 11.6, 3778 would be 3779 on the rising day. The beauty of Spectre on November 6, 2015, it's 3,777 days when you include both dates. Remember, 37 is the prime number for the church. 37 divides evenly into 777. Direct smash hits. And they also had the October 26th release date. And when you include both dates, 3788. Film, Spectre, Wikipedia. Yep, 26 November 6th. It's 1:48 in the minutes, which is Donald J. Trump and Simple Gematria. 3,788. When you include both dates, Spectre to the event day. The event day, folks, will be on a Monday. Will be on a Monday. What happens when you run Monday, March 9th? 844, 108, 180. In the Jewish Hebrew, the most biblical, the four horsemen. Unbelievable direct smash hit. And he would be rising on a Wednesday, which is the name of the series. Oh, man. So Wednesday again was 2022 on the 23rd. And then came out again this year on August 6th, season 2. $215 and $217, and then it was released again. Oh, it was released again on 9/3. Dag, I'm sure was. That was 187. Oh my goodness. It's a direct smash hit, y'all. Oh my goodness. Wednesday release date, September 3rd. There it is. Wednesday part season two, part two. That's 2-2. Remember the 22nd prime number is 79, which is murder. On Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. We run that date, September 3rd, 2025, to our 39, and it is 187 days. Look at the hours, 44:88. 6 months, 6 days. We got our date. Wednesday begins every single title of both seasons of Wednesdays, all 16 episodes all have the word woe in it. That's 8 and 8 episodes, by the way. Season 1, season 2, 88. All 16 episodes of Wednesday contain the name woe. It didn't even finish in my search. Woe didn't even pop up. All episodes of the Netflix Wednesday contain the word woe in their titles. There they are. Every one of them. Mm, 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 mm. Zechariah 11:17, which is the right eye wound Bible verse to the Antichrist, begins with the word woe. Woe to the idle shepherd. Wednesday pegs it out for us, 100%. Given to us on a silver platter. It is the release date of Tenet just 5 years later. Remember, Tenet was 9/3. This is 3/9. It's going down on Monday, March 9th. Like Joe Namath said, I'll guarantee it. Washington, D.C. is 86,068 days old. 606 right in the middle. It is a palindrome, 86068. If we run DC, to the Tenet release date, 84055. There it is, 2,761 months. 761, remember, is the amount of verses combined in Daniel and Revelation, and it was on the license tag of the bus in the Dark Knight. Right after we saw the 135, which the 135th prime number is 761. It is 2,761 months and 18 days, 18 to 6 plus 6 plus 6. I am telling you, we got our date. The other release date was 9/26, which is the premiere date of Tenet, 84,047 days. There's your 404 for Revelation, 84047. 7 is the main number in the book of Revelation for cleansing, but it's also 47 trumps number 47. It's still 2,761 months and 10 days. The opening of Washington, D.C. The opening inception date of Washington, D.C., July 16th, 1790. Just making sure we keyed in the right date. 7/16, 1790. 7/16, 1790. There's your 404 for Revelation right there in the days. 84,047 days. From DC to Tenet. DC would be, Tenet was all about the palindrome. The title is Tenet, with same letters backwards and forwards. Tenet, all of the palindromes. Christopher Nolan film Tenet, all of the palindromes. Sator square. It was Sator. Yeah, it was Satyr, Arapo, Tenet, Opera, and Rotas, which made it be Satyr. So when you put them all in there, that's interesting. If we key in Satyr square into our gematria, you get a palindrome with 767 in the Jewish Hebrew. Really big deals. Really big deals. Mm, 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 mm. I cannot begin to tell you. And all the other items in the Seder square were, let's key them all in. One, 284, 1920, and 320. Anyway, I think we're done here. What do you think? I think we are done here. March 11th, murder. November 11th. Wow. There's a big time personal cipher that thing bounces back to also. Really connected and hit a lot on 310 to Yuma. Skyfall. I guess we should look at Casino Royale, the beginning of the Daniel Craig Casino Royale film. Begins with 38 in the URL. Death and Murder. Tell you what else we're going to look at. I'm going to look at Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, Lord of the Ring, Return of the King, every bit of it. By the way, Casino Royale did come out on 11/17. We need to look at 11/17, 1968, which was the Heidi Bowl. The Heidi Bowl. 209/31. 687 in the months. So there's your 68, 209/31. It's nothing spectacular. All right, Casino Royale 2006, 11/17. Include both dates. You do get your 753. You get 007 in the weeks, 1000/007. So it was the 14th, 16th, 17th. 007 all the way through in the weeks. There's your 753. The worst one was Quantum of Solace. We never look at it. Is that because it's an excellent cipher? Quantum of Solace. 83 murder begins the URL. October 28th, October 31st, November 14th. All these releases are always in October, November. October 29, 31, November 14th. October 29, 31. October 29. We got to keep looking at the 37 progressions. October 31. There it is. 6,338. So you have your perfect 38. 38 is death in one of the four base ciphers and murder in one of the other four base ciphers. I think it's death in simple gematria and murder in reverse reduction. Then November 14th. Hmm. 903 in the weeks. So let's go back and look at what we were looking at, and then we'll close it out. So including both dates, you got Knives Out, Wake Up Dead Man. Got Jaden Daniels' birthday. He is Man Heisman representing Satan taking over the body, and Book of Daniel. The lighting of the crowning at the Bank of America, at the Trump mural, Benjamin F. Long. Donnie Darko, director's cut, release date 5/29/2004. Bingo. Olympus Has Fallen. On the Rising Day, which is a 37 progression from Groundhog Day, by the way. Elon Musk's birthday, Christopher Nolan birthday, Heath Ledger's death, Fake, by the way. Trump posing with the Bible. Vince Lombardi birthday, Skyfall, United Kingdom release date October 26, 2012. So that is a 37 progression. Elvis's birthday, the Challenger NASA Day. Ken Miles, which Christian Ford played him. So it's Ken Miles' death date match. Ken Miles, Wikipedia. Ken Miles, Wikipedia. So August 17th, 1966. So August 17th, 66. And if I'm not mistaken, this is talking about going to the Rising Day. Yeah. 8/17/66. 21/7/56. 588. There's your 88 right there. 100%. Ford versus Ferrari. Christian Bale, direct smash hit for Rising Day. Thank you for your patience on that. That was worth the time to look at that. That is a gigantic smash hit. And JFK assassination date to the Rising Day. If you include both dates, it's also a direct hit with Saturday Night Fever album, which was found, remember, at the Georgia Guidestones. Spin City, Back to the Future 4, Judgment Day. Avengers Endgame, Demaryius Thomas death. He was number 88 for White Horse Broncos. Trump at Bible Museum. The Highlander, USA release date. Trump's escalator descent. So it represents death and rising if you include both dates. The Killing Moon song. Trump came out to the Undertaker song, Florence, South Carolina. The X Across America Total Solar on 4/8. You include both dates, that's a hit to the rising. If you include both dates, that's a hit to the rising. $703. 19 progressions. COVID-19. Whew. We got to be done because I'm worn out. I'm mega tired right now. We do not celebrate pagan New Year's Eve, do we? No. All right, March 9th for the event. Look for the playlist on this YouTube channel. Love y'all.